Okay, so welcome back. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how to graph the equation of a line on your calculator. Okay, so I'm going to use this example to do it. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to write this in y-intercept form, because in order to put in your calculator it has to be in that form. So if we do this, we get what? So I'm going to get negative 3y is equal to negative 2x plus 6. And if I divide everything by negative 3, I get y equals 2/3 x minus 2. Okay, so now that it's in y-intercept form, I'm going to put this in my calculator. So in order to do that, this is how we do it. So you're going to go to this y equals key. Okay, if you see that, you're going to press the y equals key and it's going to bring you to this menu. So I've got already equations in there, so let me just clear these out. And so you're going to get this menu when you go to this y equals. And so now the first one is y1. So I'm just going to stick my equation after the equal sign there. So again, I'm going to put in 2/3 x minus 2. So let's put the 2/3 in there. So I'm going to put these in parentheses. Okay, so I'm going to put parenthesis, and then I'm going to put 2 divided by 3 to give me 2/3. Okay, so that's what I have. Now I'm going to put the x. Now how do I get the x in there? Well, there's a key at the top here that has these symbols. X, t, theta, and n. So this is where you go to get your variables. So in this case, if I press this, it's just going to give me an x. So now I've got 2/3 x, and now I just have to subtract off 2. So I'm just going to subtract 2. And so there's my equation of a line. Okay, now I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm ready to graph. So if I just go up to here to graph, so this gray key here for graph, and I just graph, there it is. Now notice that the graph I didn't get all the intercepts on there, right? So it didn't really center it. So this is where you're going to have to play with the window. So you go to this window option right here, and now so you can play with these options. So you have your minimum x value and your maximum x value, your scale, your minimum and maximum y values that you want for your window, and your y scale. So now I'm not going to play with the scales, but I'm going to change my windows by changing my min and max for my x and y. So how would I do that? Well, if I want this to be like in the center of my graph, then I notice that, well, this is going to be at 0, negative 2, right? So my x values, I want my x values to go from at least 0 to 3, right? So I can get both my intercepts in there. So you could go for, let's say, negative 1 to 4. And then you want your x-intercept in here too. So in the y values, you could go from 1 to negative 3, right? So you could do that to kind of center it in your window. So let's do that. So I'm going to set my x minimum value to negative 1. And my maximum value to 4. I'm not going to mess with the scale. And then my y minimum is going to be negative 3. And my y maximum, I will put it positive 1. Okay, so that's what I have. And so now I'm going to push graph again and watch what happens. Okay, so sometimes you're going to have to play with the window So that way your graph looks better and you get a better look at what your graph looks like. Okay, so there you go. Let me know if you have any questions. Take care.